Okay, so upcoming is Chapter 3-2 Oil Plant. There are three major parts to this. We'll be explaining each part, but prior to running it, the first part is called Raft. And what's going to happen is halfway through, there will be a switch for the raft, and at the end of the part, there will be a raft. There are a lot of enemies here, but what we're going to do is hit the raft checkpoint, reset, which will despawn all the enemies, which will cause us to have a free co-op action on the raft. And after the raft, Cosmic is going to lower a bridge, and Sheva will run across it, and then we'll reset there again so that Cosmic doesn't have to come all the way around. It's a lot easier to explain when shown, so...
Yeah, and just so like, Chris is the one that has to get on the raft. So, as the Chris player, when you're getting onto the raft, after you hit interact to jump down, make sure that you open your inventory or your pause menu immediately so that you don't have to wait for the checkpoint to appear again. So, you kind of have to, like, almost piano from F to escape. I guess it's really weird to call that a piano, but you just have to do them in quick succession. So, yeah, we'll just show it.
Inventory count here. Chris, you generally want about 100 ammo. Sheva, you want about 160, 80 in the gun and 80 elsewhere. Ammo count's pretty low, but it's pretty good for now, so we'll just go ahead and run this first bit. You're going to let the host run on ahead because you don't want to have to deal with all the enemies, and he has a little bit further to go. So what I usually tend to do here is I'll just open these jars, hopefully get something useful. It's handgun ammo, not useful for me. I think this is rifle ammo guaranteed. Yep. The handgun. And generally by the time you open all these vases, you can start doing your bit. I'm gonna heal because I don't like Cosmic and I don't want to heal him.
That's fair. There's these two enemies over here that kind of sometimes will give you bad RNG. Just make sure you run around them. Sometimes like that you'll get caught, but all good.
So by the time he gets to the end, you want to be on this switch so that you will spawn here. Perfect timing. Quick menuing during a tactical reset is key, otherwise there's no point of resetting. So up and just ready. You're going to do the same thing you did in Chapter 1. You're going to press F, aim, and then turn.
And for here, as Chris, you just can spam A+D on the keyboard. Whatever the QuickTime, the QuickTime event prompt for this is always the same. It is always A+D on the keyboard. I forget what it actually is for controller. I want to say it's like square and cross for PS4 and or PS3 or whatever you're playing on, or X+A or cross+A on Xbox pads.
Don't hit the switch yet.
You good?
So what we did, we reset right there because it despawned all the enemies. Otherwise, they would be hitting me while I'm turning the switch, and then I would have to kill them. I would have to deal with all that stuff. So that's our first tactical reset. So our second tactical reset, if you look at my screen or Cosmic screen, he's going to be hitting this switch, which will cause this bridge to drop. And there is another reset across the bridge, which will drag him towards me instead of him coming all the way around here. So hit the switch. Press escape once. Reset in 3, 2, 1. Go quickly. No inventory. So right here, Sheva's going to be the one to shoot these lights. There's a treasure on each because Sheva's jump up animation's a lot quicker. So I'll just show you comparing side-by-side animations. Actually,
Yeah.
they're about.
I mean, I started a little bit before you, and you still got up here the same time as me.
Yeah. So generally, Sheva wants to do that. Grab it. In this upcoming bit, there's no enemies. Chris is gonna grab a first aid spray in that far right tent. The Sheva player is gonna grab an incendiary or treasure in an incendiary.
And you find out that Tricell helped fund the BSAA.
Yeah. We're also looking to route out of this eventually, but that beetle actually is a lot of treasure it costs. It's like 3,000, so it's actually pretty useful.
So you want to explain this part here first before we go in?
I think we could explain it on the platform without jumping down, right?
Oh, yeah. That's fair. Yep.
So right now, I'm not going to skip this cutscene because you'll see this whole layout. Pretty much there are a lot of dials that you have to turn that will disable the fire to go on ahead. Two of you are pretty much going to have to go your own route. It's important that you want to be full HP here so that if one of you goes into dying state, you pretty much have to reset this room. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna go our own routes, hit our own switches, but also have to deal with our own chainsaw guys, our own mobs. That's about. I mean, that's all there is to say, other than just technical lines and stuff. Unless you have anything.
As Chris, the enemy that's over here, you want to make sure that after you turn the first wheel up here, or the first valve, you want to shoot this enemy while you're going up the stairs here. After you pull this switch over here to activate the pulley system, in order to get over to the last valve, you're going to want to shoot this guy again. Or, I'm sorry, you want to shoot him after you pull this thing. You don't want to shoot him while you're going up the stairs. That's my fault. I misspoke. And then you want to shoot an enemy that's right over here to make it a little bit safer for Sheva.
I'll explain the enemies I kill while I'm running it, so alright,
okay.
We'll go run. So Chris is going to go ahead up that ladder. What you're going to do is you want to kind of kill this guy as best as you can. Because that guy will also interfere with your switch later, and it'll interfere with this ladder. You're going to wait in front of the left flame. You're going to want to get hit here because this causes one of the arrows to actually miss you while this is happening. Right here, he will fire. You want to hit
escape here too. Shoot that guy. Shoot that guy.
You want to kill that guy I just shot ahead because he's actually aiming at you when you hit your switch, so you don't have to deal with it. Chainsaw guy activates. Skip that cutscene. The switch.
Oh shit. Hold on. I actually got hit. It's gonna be a little bit slow on my end, but.
So remember, the chainsaws are one it kills. You have to deal with one, Chris has to deal with one. The Sheva player should be quicker because I'm better. No, I'm just kidding. The Sheva player should be quicker because it's a quicker round. So what you're going to want to do is go on ahead. The enemies that spawn around this corner are actually random. Sometimes there are no enemies, and sometimes there are a lot of enemies. So there are actually a lot of enemies.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Sometimes there are 0 enemies around that corner, but that's oil plant food.
Yeah, so the first thing you want to do when you get into this area is, as Chris, there is a guaranteed hand grenade drop in the vase. It's a vase that you turn right, and then it will be the vase on your left, or the barrel, I should say, on your left. You want to pick it up and just throw it at the crowd that'll be right in front of the chain link fence. Go ahead.
As Sheva, your job is to shoot a couple of guys at the beginning of the leg so they don't interrupt Chris's movement. So right here we're introduced to Josh. So what this bit is, we're gonna have to be protecting Josh while he's on the elevator. After the first round, which we dispose of by Cosmic's grenade, there are 2 entry points where they can enter, a window and a fence. Luckily we can abuse AI mechanics. So Chris is going to be shooting 1 bullet at a time at the fence to knock people off the fence, while I'm going to be knifing the window where they are going to just try to enter. There will be a dialogue prompt that Josh will say. I think it's almost got it. And from there, you're going to do 15 knife slashes as Sheva before you can back up. Sometimes there'll be a bigger mob that will spawn, and that's what your grenade is for earlier, that you will use it there. Hopefully he doesn't spawn. We'll explain the third part when it comes up. So.
Yep, so just shoot this thing right here, pick up the grenade, it should always go into the 2 slot, and then you just want to throw it. Boom. They're all dead. So then you want to shoot this guy behind you. Take him out with a melee shot. There's an incendiary grenade here for you, by the way.
I have one.
Let me give this to you. There you go.
So you have a little bit of a breather right here. The drops are a bit random. So the fence that they're going to be spawning on is this one right here. And from my perspective, it's the window right here. You're just going to want to be doing this.
As Chris, when you're protecting the chain link fence, you want to just wait until they're up on it like this, and then shoot them so that they just break their back on the ledge here, on this railing. This just makes it so that you have to spend less ammo doing this. I've seen a lot of people shoot them as they're getting up onto the fence, like around here. That just wastes too much ammo. You have to shoot way too frequently. And it also, they also take extra damage by ricocheting back onto this railing here, so. There's the almost got it.
He spawned really early for me.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So if he hadn't spawned, it'd be 15 knife slashes, but he's spawning again. So that's where you want to use your incendiary. Because if he gets too close to Josh, Josh will start attacking him. So we can just reset this after we show. So what's going to happen is Cosmic is going to run all the way to the end of this, which is about a upside down U shape.
Yeah.
And he'll enable Josh to get on this console on my screen. We have to protect Josh for about 30 seconds during that meanwhile. And how we indicate it is that there's going to be a chainsaw guy that spawns. And if you melee the chainsaw guy that spawns twice, you should be in the clear to the point where Josh doesn't have to interrupt his whatever he's doing on the computer. The person who's babysitting Josh up ahead, usually the machine gun player or the Sheva player, will just be hugging the door, because as soon as Josh says, okay, we got the door unlocked, you only need one person to enter through the door to activate the cutscene, which takes us into the next scenario. So we'll just go ahead and show it. Chris is going to run to the end. I'm going to route some enemies and pick up a landmine that we actually need in the next part coming up.
Move! There should be an exit up ahead. Go!
There we go. Bring him down here. He should just run to you. There he is. Then you can come back up here. You want to make sure that you just take out the archers up here.
So chainsaw guy spawns there. You will just be at the door praying that your Chris player knows what he's doing.
That's fair.
The Chris player is just standing up there. I think he just has to melee him once or twice.
Yeah, you just want to headshot him a couple of times, like this, and then you'll be able to do this. And then you can, if you want to really play it safe, you can just do this second time, and then you can just come back down.
As a Sheva player, you just want to have your grenade out, so landmine out, and there you go. Instant cutscene into the next bit. This next bit is or how would you describe it? Actually, there are no enemies. We could just show it off right here.
Yeah, exactly.
So this next bit coming up, we'll just go ahead and like show it. Irving is okay.
Right,
actually,
that's yeah. I was gonna say that's not. Oh wait, yeah, you can pick it. Yeah, you can pick it back up. I forgot about that.
No, I was trying to aim anyway. So you want to go to the right here, because Irving is technically on that boat. But what's going to happen is Irving's going to say, "Aha! You couldn't catch me." So you're going to have to run all the way back and get on that boat right there. So there's no lock on here right now, but there will be a lock afterwards. So what you're going to want to do with the mine you picked up, is you're going to want to put it right here. Because what's going to happen is a bunch of guys will spawn from here, they'll run here, die, and it'll also blow up this switch as well. So
yeah, and while the Sheva player is doing that, the Chris player is just going to run to the end of the dock here. You'll both be put in the same exact position after the cutscene as you would if Sheva were going to be here, or we're running to the end, so...
There are 2 tripwires after that door that you're just going to wait a second before you shoot, so the dogs hopefully get hit. Utilizing the generic go the opposite direction as the first player attacked you. So the lock on the door is destroyed. Go ahead. Dogs will spawn. We'll wait a second. The Chris player goes on ahead. Sometimes you get caught here, but that's dog RNG here. You don't need to help Josh if he's getting grabbed here. All you really need to do is run to the end A really good time with the countdown remaining is if you get 128. 128 is the best time we've gotten, but generally you should be getting a 126 and 127. And that is chapter 3-2.
Indeed.